Kohaloyum Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Yeah, I found this article because it came to my email. I have an alert. I have a Google alert set up for, economic collapse or maybe recession. Might be both. But this email, or this article rather, came and the title says, "Why is U.S. consumer confidence plunging to its lowest since 2021? Inflation fears, tariffs, and economic uncertainty raise concerns." This article is from economictimes.com. And I'm bringing this out because right now we're living in the time of the beginning of sorrows. We're not in Jacob's trouble yet. We're right in the beginning of sorrows, and Jacob's trouble is right around the corner. And we can say that with confidence based upon articles like this, based upon what we're seeing happening in the world. We measure the times by reading the Bible, understanding prophecies, and then we look for those prophecies. And right now we see, of course, wars and rumors of wars. You got Trump talking about how he's going to end the war with Ukraine and Russia. That's a war or rumors of war happening right now. You have earthquakes in diverse places. You have famine in many places right now. And of course, one of the biggest prophecies right now is you have talks each and every single week about the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. And so when you come across articles like this referring to consumer confidence in America and how it's plunging and how it's very low, that just all goes into prophecy as well, because America is being ruled by an unrighteous rulership, I'll just say, by wicked people. And that's the reason why this place is going to go down. That's the reason why it's going to fall and be completely destroyed. So I want to read really quickly this synopsis, and then from there, I just want to read the very first paragraph of the article, and that's it. Then we'll grab some precepts to bring everything together. The synopsis says, consumer confidence in the U.S. saw its biggest monthly decline since August 2021, dropping to 98.3 in February 2025 from 105.3 in January, as inflation fears and tariff concerns rattled households. The Conference Board's report highlighted a rise in 12-month inflation expectations to 6%, making consumers more cautious about spending. Stock markets reacted negatively, with the S&P 500 falling 0.9% and the Nasdaq dropping 1.8%. If confidence continues to weaken, it could slow down retail sales and economic growth, raising recession risks. The Federal Reserve may face pressure to adjust policies in response to rising uncertainty. So because of the different economic and political, I'll just use the word policies that are taking place here in America, people don't have confidence in this place anymore. They're scared to spend money. They fear losing their job. It's hard to just land a job right now. People have whole master degrees and they're working in retail right now for minimum wage, maybe a few dollars more. People have debt like crazy out the roof. It's hard to pay down. Taking out loans to pay their bills, things like that, is rough. Now, of course, you have talks of tariffs. You have talks of inflation. Now people are really like, all right, what do I do? Well, all of this is a result of a wicked rulership. And that's why this place is going down, like I mentioned. So now let's read the first paragraph, and that's it. It's kind of saying the same thing since that was the synopsis, but we'll read it. It says consumer confidence in the U.S. took a major hit in February 2025, marking its biggest monthly decline in over 3 years. The Conference Board reported that its consumer confidence index dropped to 98.3 in February, down to 105.3 in January, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's saying the same exact thing. I'm not going to bore you or myself with this. saying the same exact thing, and that's why we read the synopsis. But yeah, people are upset. They're mourning, and they're in a position of sorrow right now, just like the scriptures prophesied. And we're seeing it play out. We don't have to, go out and travel the world to see it. Now, you can just look outside and you see how people have their head hanging low. Nobody looks, majority of people don't look happy as they walk by you. You can see it on people's faces. But people are struggling. Majority of people living paycheck to paycheck, don't even have, $5,000 saved up in their bank account. If an emergency happens, majority of these people don't know what to do. And that's just a result of Esau ruling, but also Jake in general. We're under the curses as a whole, right? So we got to get out of here. But you don't have anything to worry about if the Lord is on your side, obviously. But I'm going to start here in the book of Proverbs 29, verse 2. An oldie but goodie. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. The people mourn. In the NLT, it says, I'm going to get it really quickly. But when the wicked are in power, the NLT says they groan. And what does it mean to groan? Groaning is when, and that's how you wake up in the morning. You just, another day, Of course, we're in the spirit, so we get over that hump through prayer and watching videos and reading. The Spirit of the Lord is comforting us, but you still can't help it sometimes. You just wake up and you groan. Well, imagine people that don't have the understanding of the prophecies like we do. People that are just out here struggling, thinking that they're on their own. Because if the Lord ain't with you, then you asked out. You really are on your own. And imagine in Jacob's trouble being on your own. But we're just talking about right now, before Jacob's trouble hits. Yeah, people are groaning. People are mourning. And that's why we read this right here. Consumer confidence is plunging to its lowest levels since 2021. Why? Fears of inflation, tariffs, economic uncertainty. Why? Because the wicked are ruling. So we're seeing the scriptures play out right before our faces. I'm going to grab, I want to bring this out. Then I'll jump back. This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 10. The point is at verse 3. I'll start at verse 1 and just read straight through. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Meanwhile, you have Trump apparently going up in the office, and him and Elon, his boys, they're finding all this money that was just going towards stupid stuff, for lack of a better word. That's why they're talking about giving people some money through the means of Doge, I guess. They found that the government spending was just on things that were irrational. But it ain't like Trump is going to go up in there and all of a sudden have a righteous rulership. No, he's still the devil. He's still Esau, Edom, that the Bible speaks of. So ultimately, this place has to go no matter what. Verse 2 says, as the judge of the people is himself, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Now this is the point. An unwise king destroyeth his people. And you can see that happening because the consumer confidence is low. People aren't confident in Trump. You have people that voted for him now making videos crying, wishing that they never did it. I saw a video on TikTok. There was a dude, he had to watch some people run up in his house and take his wife away because apparently she was she was an illegal immigrant. She's here illegally. She doesn't have what she needs to be a citizen. And he was like, man, I voted for Trump. Now I take it all back. He had to watch, and he was in Northern Kingdom, obviously she was too. He had to watch his wife just get dragged out the house. And that's a lot of people just mourning, just upset. Why? Because you got the king of Babylon right now, which is Trump, destroying his people with his policies. Making it hard to live, making it hard to pay rent, making it hard to just buy some goddamn groceries. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. Yeah, and that's why we need a change in rulership. As verse 4 says, we'll read it. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. And that's going to be Yahushua at the top, and of course the 144,000 following right behind him, right by his side, I'll say. Right, but right now, consumer confidence is low. You got the government of Esau, Edom, and their ways, their policies just destroying people, making it hard to live. I'm going to grab one last precept in the book of Isaiah. Let me get out of that. Go to the King James. Of course, we got to go here. Isaiah 24. I like reading this in the NLT. I just got out of it, but I do like how it's worded in the NLT. And I'm going to start reading at verse 5. It says, the earth suffers for the sins of its people, for they have twisted God's instructions, violated his laws, and broken his everlasting covenant. Therefore, a curse consumes the earth. Its people must pay for the price of their sin. Its people must pay for the price for their sin. They are destroyed by fire, and only a few are left alive. All right, this is the point. Verse 7, the grapevines waste away, and there is no new wine. All the merrymakers sigh and mourn. The cheerful sound of tambourines is stilled. The happy cries of celebration are heard no more. The melodious chords of the harp are silent. Gone are the joys of wine and song. Alcoholic drink turns bitter in the mouth. Yeah, and everything that we just read is a very poetic illustration of what we read in this article. Consumer confidence is plunging. People aren't believing in America anymore. This ain't that golden city with golden streets, whatever the phrase was. And it never was. It never was, and it never will be. People are now realizing that there's no such thing as an American dream. You can't, or at least not anymore, you can't buy a house for dirt cheap and have a nice white picket fence and a dog and 3 kids, and you're just living this merry old, happy, perfect life. Bills are low, credit is in the 800s. You just killing life. Nah, it's not going to happen, at least not for a majority of us. And even if it is, then you're still going to be going through something, facing some kind of your own personal trials and tribulations if you're a part of the elect. The Lord is going to chastise you to keep you at bay, right? To keep you mentally in check. But in general, consumer confidence is low. People aren't happy. People are mourning. They're sighing because of the wicked rulership that's in place. And that's why, along with being prophets of doom, we're prophets of hope, because we speak about and we prophesy of good things to come for our people. We just got to make it through these hard times, and then guess what? Then there's salvation, then there's immortality, then there's no more sighing and crying and worrying and mourning. So Lord's will, this was edifying to the elect. Call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachak. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.